We're also, as you know, investing heavily right now in building a new settlement system for instant payments in the U.S. It'll be the first such major expansion of our core payment system since the 1970s. We found the case for this quite compelling for consumers, businesses, and just ensuring that all financial institutions have access to the payment system. Going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go, but clearly we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought. We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
And so we'll import Chinese-based CBDC technology. So it's going to be CBDC in a box provided to you by the People's Bank of China.
But every stock, every bond, every currency, every commodity, every piece of art, every private business, every piece of real estate will eventually be a token on a blockchain, an entry on a ledger, permanent and immutable. We will have truth instead of trust, and we will save over $7 trillion a year. 6 to 8% of global GDP is wasted by the friction of the trust industry that's necessary when you have dual entry accounting. With triple entry accounting, which is what a blockchain is, we get rid of all of that friction. It's a beautiful future.
Like what you see in China and their social credit scoring systems, right? If we get identity wrong, it could be a tool to enslave humanity. And if we get it right, it could be a tool to liberate humanity. And as an American, I'm obviously rooting for the one that's on the side of freedom.
Bitcoin is an international asset. And also, I do believe the role of crypto is, it's digitizing gold.
I actually believe this technology is going to be very important. Look at it. We have been part of a huge revolution in investing through ETFs. We believe that ETFs will be changing the whole way we invest. Many people still use it as a means, people are investing it for indexing. No, the majority of people who are putting money in in ETFs are active investors that are buying exposure. The entire bond market is being transformed as we talk right now. I believe the next generation for markets, the next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities. And if we can have that distributed ledger that we know every beneficial owner, every beneficial seller, we all have our code of who's buying, who's selling, instantaneous settlement. And think about it, it changes the whole ecosystem.
Chinese bank ICBC has been hit by a ransomware attack, and the U.S. Treasury market, as a result of that, has been disrupted. This, according to the Financial Times. We're getting it more right now with Bloomberg's Sonali Basak. Sonali, what do we know?
Listen, we have the Financial Times now reporting that ICBC, one of China's largest banks here, was hit with a ransomware attack. And remember, they're a very significant intermediary in the Treasury market. The SIFMA has told its members that this has been part of the reason here that the system is kind of clogged up, if you will, during that auction that we saw a little bit before. The attack had prevented ICBC, according to the Financial Times, from settling Treasury trades on behalf of other market participants. A large executive at a major bank also telling the paper that such a large party on the fixed income clearing corp creates major concerns, potentially impacting the liquidity of Treasury markets.
Now, it was not just a poor auction. It was absolutely lousy, and when the dealers have to step in to save a treasury auction, that's a rare occurrence.
I hate when countries go off the dollar. I would not allow countries to go off the dollar, because when we lose that standard, that will be like losing a revolutionary war. That will be a hit to our country, just like losing a war. And we can't let that happen. And too many countries now are fighting to get off the dollar.
Welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And guys, please like and subscribe if you do like what you're listening to. Please inform your friends and family and spread it all over social media. It is imperative that we get back to learning finances and understand how the world really works, because once we understand how the world really works, we understand that it is all planned out. Now, I want to thank those who purchased the books Cryptoteacher and the New World Order book. Remember, the New World Order book shows you how the world really works, and it is definitely time for you to wake up out of that sleep, especially in the times that we're in right now. And 2024 is going to be one of our most entertaining years. We have the presidential election. We have the drums are beating. We have the emerging markets going to be flipping the switch on the fourth industrial revolution. Now, we had the Fed signal rate cuts, but remember, guys, they haven't cut rates yet. So we know the master magicians are about to set up that distraction. So therefore, they can cut rates while we still have inflation. And in the fourth quarter, once the election is over, we know the movie begins. And also, guys, I want to thank those who purchased the 3 Kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, much love to those who donate to the Cash App, Patreon. Much love. Keep it coming. Guys, if you're not a part of the Patreon, make sure you're donating to the channel through the actual Cash App. But guys, this next Bitcoin and crypto bull run is going to be a utility run. So you want to make sure you have the cryptos that have real utility. And much love to those who are shopping at both stores. Keep it coming. And of course, guys, we get into Bitcoin and cryptos first.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
And right now, we have Bitcoin, cryptos, and stocks up. And I did a video last night, guys, on Jerome Powell. Don't miss it, because then you're not going to understand what happened today. Jerome Powell clearly stated higher for longer. We get CPI numbers today. Inflation is still hot. But guess what happens in the bond market? Yields drop. You can't make this stuff up. And if you listen to the television, they're controlling the narrative. Remember, the central banks want to keep these rates as high as possible to break everything in this legacy market. Only thing you're doing right now is looking at false numbers. We know what's happening in the real economy. Banks are being crushed. That means small businesses are being crushed. And we know for a fact the consumer is being crushed. And remember, the Crypto Teacher told you. Now, guys, do not forget to pay attention to the actual indicators. Yield rates are back down to the April lows. And remember, guys, we have to follow the money. If yield rates drop, that means stocks and cryptos are going to be moving up. We follow the Fed. Even though we know things are not real, we still have to follow the Fed. We see yield rates are dropping. That is great for assets. And then also, to top it off, we have the dollar down. But remember what I told you? Friday and Monday for the stock market, they're going to control the narrative. The reason why? Because we have options ending. So stocks and cryptos will pull back, but it won't be as bad because they drop yields. And remember, the Crypto Teacher told you. Now we have volume and crypto up. We have Tether and USDC. And we have Circle plans to move from Ireland to the United States. And never forget, Brian Brooks and Jeremy Allaire stated that they were working on a internet global currency. And then, guys, we have the Fed. Repo yesterday was $468 billion. And we see the NWO moving fast forward while the sheep sleep. We received a lot of news that should have made the mainstream media, but never will. Now we have JPM Coin to act as a settlement mechanism for Broadridge Distributed Ledger Repo Platform. And when I first started this channel, that's all we received that first year was the testing going on. Guys, we've already been through the testing. They're ready to implement. All we need is that crisis. And that's the reason why we're going to hear the drums are beating. And they're going to get louder going towards the end of the year. But remember, guys, this is an election year. They will keep things calm until we get to the end. And in 2025, the NWO is going to start pulling that curtain. And the sheep are going to wonder where they've been. Because as they're being laid off, we're going to see the machines take over. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Now, guys, do not forget about the Spot Bitcoin ETFs. We have BlackRock, Fidelity, and Grayscale all up. Now, we have Wisconsin reveals 164 million invested in Spot Bitcoin ETFs, BlackRock, and Grayscale. And I told you guys from the beginning, they kept saying all this money is coming from retail investors, and we know retail investors are fighting inflation. They're trying to pay the bills. And the amount of money that came in so quickly, it has to be the whales. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Now we have the SEC potentially considering Ethereum as a security and likely to deny these spot Ethereum ETFs, but guys, we know they're going to get approved eventually. Only thing you have to do is sit back, get your popcorn, let it play out. We know they love the drama, but we know definitely it's going to get approved. Remember, DeFi is definitely the new banking, and majority of it is on Ethereum. And we know JP Morgan has his hands all over Ethereum and consensus. But getting over into a little crypto news. We have data indexer Subsquid plans to launch SQD token on Friday. Also, we have WorldCoin seeks to set new standard in data protection. Says it's deleted users' iris codes. And we know data protection and WorldCoin don't come together. Remember, the NWO believes one step back, two steps forward. Now we have Microstrategy added to MSCI WORLD INDEX effective May 31st. And that is my mom's birthday. But we had Michael Saylor become the spokesperson for Bitcoin, and we know Microstrategy was bleeding money. Now all of a sudden, guys, they're one of the top stocks. You can't make this stuff up. Now we have Crypto Game Guild of Guardian launching on Apple and Android devices with 1 million in prizes. And guys, what do I always tell you? Follow the money. We know how big gaming is going to be. It is going to be the entry to the metaverse. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Now we have Robinhood launches Solana staking in Europe plus new customer rewards programs. And again, if you're in Europe, follow the money. And then lastly, we have Deutsche Bank to test asset tokenization with Monetary Authority of Singapore Project Guardian. And again, things that should make the mainstream media is not going to make the news. We know everything's going to be tokenized and put on blockchain. And we see the emerging markets leading and the big banks and big corporations right behind it. And remember, the crypto teacher told you, because he knows when it comes to the NWO, it's all planned out. But guys, all I have for you. Don't forget about the books, Crypto Teacher and the New World Order book, plus the 3 kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, new to cryptos, Coinbase, Bitrue, Binance. Do not forget book links and crypto links are in the description. The stock channel, guys. Don't forget to go like, subscribe, spread everywhere. You have your Kobo, your chip stocks, your banking, your gaming. While everybody's sitting at home, get home stocks, the Seaver, the biotech stocks. And while everybody's at home wishing they were still getting that free money, what are they doing? Drinking and smoking weed. Don't forget about those stocks, and you have a wonderful day. The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, you know I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids books. You know, I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the fourth industrial revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Drama Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Drama Tam save New York from COVID-33. Part 3. King Joshua and Drama Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.